Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to keep this intro super short and sweet because I know that this is going to be a super long tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to achieve this super glam Valentine's Day makeup look, and I absolutely love the way this look turned out. I actually did this look yesterday and I asked you guys if you wanted to see it, and most of you guys said yes. And if you guys want a more natural and wearable Valentine's Day look, then definitely let me know down below because I would love to do that for you guys. Before we get into this video, if you guys like me and you like my channel, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you guys here. So without further ado, if you guys want to see how to achieve the super glam half cut crease for Valentine's Day, then please keep watching. So the first step that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to prime my lid, but I'm not going to use a primer, I'm just going to use a concealer. And I've been loving doing this lately. I really don't use primers at all anymore. I used to use the YSL Couture Eye Primer, but I kind of steered away from it now. So now I just use my concealer, and the concealer that I'm going to use to prime my eyelid is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And also today I'm not going to be setting my lid with any translucent powder. Daisy Marquez actually mentioned in a video that if you just place the concealer on your lids and don't set it and then go straight in with a eyeshadow, they come up a lot more vibrant and it's a lot easier to blend. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So once it's all blended in with my beauty blender, I'm just going to go straight in with my first eyeshadow shade. And I do want to apologize in advance. I'm going to be using like 6 different palettes, and I'm really sorry about that, but I just couldn't find all of the shades that I wanted in just one of my palettes. I'm sure that you could just find one palette and use one. You don't have to use every single one of these palettes. I'm sure that you can find similar shades to these, but these are just the shades that I found worked for me. So I'm just gonna make sure that there's no creases in my concealer before applying my first shade. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, the first shade that I'm going to put on my lid is really not that necessary. You guys could totally skip over this because I have another transition shade that I'm going to put into my crease. Or if you're brave enough, you can just skip the transition shades as a whole. But personally, I like building up shades, and that's what I did on this eye. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did on this side. So the first shade I'm going to go in with is Sweetheart from the Tartelette in Bloom palette. It's just a super pretty light pink shade, and I'm going to take this onto my Morphe M500. So what I'm going to do, since I didn't set my lids with any powder, is I'm going to start on the outside, and I'm just going to kind of press this shade into the corner of my eye, and I'm just going to kind of lay the color down. And then once I have the color kind of laid down in the corner, then I'll kind of just do little small circular motions. And I'm going to do this all the way from the outer part of my eye to the inner corner of my eye. And if you guys want a more in-depth explanation of doing this technique of not setting the lids, I will link Daisy Marquez's video down below. That way you guys can see a more in-depth version of how to do this. So that is all that we're going to be doing in this palette. So I'm going to go ahead and set this palette aside. Like I said, obviously you could have skipped over that one. You don't have to use that palette, but that's just the first shade that I went in with, so that's what I'm going to show you guys. So the next shade that I'm going to go in with is from the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Edition palette. It's pretty similar to the last shade that we used, but I feel like this one is a little bit more vibrant and pigmented, and it's more purpley toned. So it's called Shy. It's just like this light purple pinky shade right here. And I'm also going to take this onto my Morphe M441, and I'm going to place it in the exact same place. So once we have that all blended out to our liking, we're going to move on to the next eyeshadow palette. I know, so annoying, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to be using the Subculture palette. I usually really love Anastasia's palettes, but this one in particular is a little bit patchy and is not necessarily my favorite quality, and I would just recommend using a different color similar to this one if you have one. So I'm going to be using the shade All Star, which is just kind of a purple plummy color, and I'm going to be taking this onto my Morphe M423 brush, and I'm going to put it in the front part of my crease and the inner part of my crease, but I'm gonna stop kind of halfway because we're gonna be putting a more pinky shade on the outer V. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a clean blending brush. I believe that this is a Sigma E25 brush, but you can just use any clean blending brush. It really doesn't matter. And I'm just gonna kind of blend out the edges. So if you kind of look like you have a black eye, then you know that you're doing it correctly. It's kind of one of those looks that looks ridiculous while you're doing it, but just pulls through in the end. So just keep your fingers crossed and keep going. I promise it'll work out. So I'm gonna go back into the Huda Beauty palette and I'm going to take this hot pink shade called Flamingo. It is so pretty and just like screams Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna be taking this shade and I'm going to be putting it onto the outer part of my crease and like kind of my outer V. And I'm also going to be applying this shade with my Morphe M441. So now we're going to change palettes yet again, and I'm going to be going into the Modern Renaissance palette. If you guys want to use one palette for Valentine's Day, I definitely think that this is obviously the go-to Valentine's Day palette because it has so many pretty pink tones. But I'm just going to be using one shade from this palette today. So I'm going to be using the shade Love Letter, which is just like this vibrant pink. And I'm going to be adding this on kind of in the center of where the purple and the pink meet. And I'm kind of just going to deepen up the outer V with this. And I'm going to use my Morphe M562 to do so. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in with my Tarte Shape Tape and my Morphe M170-4. And I'm going to half cut my crease. So I'm going to come back to the outer V later, but we're going to go ahead and move on to my lid shades. I'm going to go into the Nicole Guerriero and Anastasia Glow Kit, and I'm going to take the highlighter shade Kitty Cat. It's just the super pretty pink highlighter shade, and I'm going to place this like on the top part of my lid, like right where the crease is cut, and it's kind of just going to make like a gradient, and it's going to make sure that there's a very clear distinction between the crease and the lid shades because it's going to be super bright right on the edge. So I'm going to take that same tiny lip brush, which is the Morphe M170-4, and I'm just going to spray it with my Mario Badescu spray, and I'm going to apply Kitty Cat right at the top of my lid. And once that is placed on my lid, I'm going to go back into the Huda Beauty palette and I'm going to take the shade Angelic, which is the super pretty pink, like gold shimmery shade. I don't even know how to explain it, but it is so pretty. And unfortunately, these are best applied with your finger. I really don't like that, but I'm going to have to apply this with my finger. So I'm just going to apply this onto my lid, basically everywhere we didn't put the Kitty Cat shade. So I'm going to go back into the Huda Beauty palette and I'm going to take this reddish shade down here onto my Morphe M562 brush. And I'm going to place this onto my outer V and kind of a little bit on my upper lash line. And I'm going to use it to blend out the lid shade and the outer V. I'm actually going to switch to the Morphe M433 brush just so I can pack on the color a little bit more intensely. I almost forgot that I actually have another shade on my lid right at the bottom. It's the Rose Gold shade from the Huda Beauty palette, so I'm going to go ahead and apply that as well. So if there's anything that I want to add on to this eye, then I will do it after I apply my lashes. I know that's kind of weird, but if you do one eye first and apply lashes to it, then you kind of can't tell how similar they are. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to my lashes now. So firstly for my lashes, I'm just going to curl them, and then I'm going to apply my Loreal Voluminous Milling Lashes Excess Mascara. And then for lashes today, I'm going to be applying my Mandy lashes, which are now actually called Azerdo Cosmetics, I believe. I'll have it linked down below, but I do have a code that I think still works with them. It's Lamia10. If anybody tries it and it doesn't work out, then definitely let me know. These are in the style Bombshell, so I'm going to go ahead and apply these as well. Now that I'm done with my eyes for now, I'm going to move on to my face, and I already went ahead and moisturized my skin with my Tarte Drink of H2O moisturizer before I started this video. I'm going to go ahead and go in with a little bit of extra moisture because one, my skin is kind of dry right now because it is cold outside, and two, because I'm going to go in with a mattifying foundation today, so I want my skin to be super hydrated underneath. I'm going to be using the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir drops, and then I'm also going to go in with the Too Faced Hangover primer. For foundation today, I'm going to be going in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr foundation. I actually love this foundation, but I haven't used it in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and use this today. Once my foundation is all blended in, I'm going to go straight in with my concealer, and for concealer today I'm going to be using the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and mine is in the shade Custard, and I'm just going to do this like I usually do, some under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and my chin. I'm also going to clean up the edges of my eyeshadow with this. Once I have my concealer all blended in, I'm going to go in with my favorite translucent powder, which is the Mercier translucent powder, and I'm going to set under my eyes and everywhere where I put the concealer. I'm also going to bake under my eyes and on the sides of my nose. To contour my face today, I'm going to be using my Benefit Hoola bronzer with my Morphe M523 brush. And then for my smaller contouring areas, I'm going to be using my Butter bronzer from Physicians Formula and my Morphe M210 brush. And then I'm just going to go ahead and wipe away the excess powder underneath my eyes. So I wanted to go with a little bit more of a pinky blush today because we have a super pink eye. So I think I'm going to go in with this pinkish blush right here from the BH Cosmetics 10 color blush palette. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to the apples of my cheeks with my Morphe MB4. So I'm going to take the shade Kitty Cat right here in the Anastasia Glow Kit with my Morphe M170-4, and I'm going to apply this to my inner corner and my brow bone. And before I do my highlight, I'm going to go ahead and put these same shades that I put into my crease onto my lower lash line, and then I'm also going to put some mascara onto my lower lash line. I'm also going to take this Pixi Endless Silky Eye Pen, and I'm just going to place this onto my waterline. And for highlight today, I'm going to be using the same highlighter that I used on my inner corner and my brow bone, which is Kitty Cat from the Anastasia and Nicole Guerriero palette. And I'm just going to go ahead and spray my face with the Mario Badescu spray first, and then I'm going to apply it with the Anastasia A23 brush. And lastly for lips, I'm going to be using my Kylie Cosmetics lip kit in the shade Coco K. I think the lip is a little bit too pink, like it's a little bit too much pink for me, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer Gloss, and it's in the shade Unreal. Lastly, I'm just going to set my face with my Maybelline Master Fix Setting Spray. So this is the final result. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial. I really enjoyed filming it for you guys. I actually love the way this look turned out, so I hope you guys like it too. And before you guys go, don't forget to hit the bell icon down below. That way you guys can be notified every single time I upload a new video. So thank you guys so much for watching again. I hope you guys have a great day or night whenever you guys are watching this, and I hope to see you guys next time.